Hello and welcome to the UK Minifigure Collectors YouTube channel, the only channel to focus primarily on minifigures. Today I'd like to show you the Kaiju Big Battel Series 1. So what is Kaiju Big Battel, I hear you ask? Well, I suppose it's a mix between WWE and Godzilla movies. You mash them both together and you get this amazing spectacle. It's kind of reminiscent of Power Rangers but takes place in an actual wrestling ring. The idea was created by Rand Borden back in 1994 and regularly sells out venues across the US, and there was even one back in 2019 here in the UK in London. Moving on to the actual minifigures, these became a reality in 2018 after a hugely successful Kickstarter campaign. With over 140 unique characters, it was just a case of whittling them down and actually finding out which were the best sculpts and things for this actual series, and these were the final 11 that were chosen. So the very first character is Dr. Cube, who's kind of the face of Kaiju Big Battel, and he's actually supposed to be a plastic surgeon, and hence the stethoscope on the front of his top. But you can see the logo on his back here. Now these are just lightly detailed, nothing over elaborate, but it works really well. And they're a really nice size, like literally just the size of a muscle figure. Next up is the awesome Silver Potato. I mean, this is a cool minifigure. Just the idea of it, a human morphed with DNA from a potato during a lunch break accident. I love the idea and it's such a cool sort of concept. But the minifigure is really cool. Again, very plain on details, but it works really well. Then we have Robox, a giant 2,000 foot tall sort of cardboard box, and I love the detail that's gone into this. I love the fact that it's a robot mixed with a cardboard box, but that giant claw is epic. I really think it's a cool minifigure. Yeah, I mean it's so simple. It's a lovely design on this one. Then we have Sky Devil, the first of Team Spacebug. And it's such a cool sculpt. I love these giant protruding fins on the back and these scales coming down the legs. The hands with these huge claws. It really does remind me of those old Japanese movies or series where the kaiju just demolishes the cities. It's really nice. Next, we have the Baby Deviler, the offspring of the Sky Deviler. It's about the size of a Mighty Max figure, but to pack in so much detail on such a small sculpt. I mean, it's a true credit to the actual sculptor, but it's such an incredible piece. I love the tooth, that single tooth to the side. It's incredible work. Then we have my favourite, the Cycloptopus. It's such a detailed minifigure, probably the most detailed of the bunch. But it's a giant sea creature, and you can see that sort of squid on the top and the seaweed sort of body armor in a sense. These giant crab claws. This is what kaiju is all about for me. These are so cool. I really do like this minifigure. Next up is Pedro Plaintain, one of the actual Plaintain twins. I love the way they've done this sculpt, and they haven't just gone with like a normal banana sculpt. Obviously being part of the banana family, it's nice to see a different shape. But the sculpting on this is really good. I like the way they've added the little details around the trousers and on the shoes, and that moustache on the upper lip. Next up, we've got the Cube Minion, one of Dr. Cube's evil henchmen made up from body parts to become his loyal servants. I love the sculpting that's gone into the strap around the back of his head. You can see the hair just sort of flowing over it. That porky little belly and those feet. Bare feet are not an easy thing to sculpt, and it's a real credit to the actual sculptor here. It's a really well done piece. Astro Roach was a concept idea for the 2018 Kickstarter campaign. He's never been seen before, but I love the way the sculptors made it with these integrated wings into his back, and the hand pose that reminds me so much of the Turtles. This sort of domed head, you can imagine like this being actually used in the ring at some point. It is a really nice minifigure. Faden seems to be an additional sculpt to the Kickstarter campaign. I can understand why they'd use it as well, because it seems to be a welcome addition to the actual universe they're creating. I love the sculpting that's gone into this. I love the utility belt and these giant boots, these big old knee pads, the hand positioning, and this beautifully sculpted head as well. I think it's a really nice one. Lastly, we have French Toast. Probably one of the plainer looking figures, but yet at the same time probably one of the hardest to sculpt. The way they've done that 5x5 square design, like on the front and the back, it's no easy task to actually sculpt that sort of thing. The lovely sort of smile on the front sort of symbolises how much fun these guys are actually having. It's a really cool addition. When you think about the imagination that's gone into these costumes for this Kaiju Big Battel wrestling world, it really does work well with their minifigures. The addition of the extra two characters, it just shows how well it all works and when you put it all together. I want to show a size comparison of the Baby Devler and the Roblox figure just so you can get sort of a rough idea of how big the actual minifigures actually are. So I understand there's a few different colours you can get. There is actually the flesh, the green, the glow in the dark, and the pumpkin spice. And there's an exclusive purple which you can only get through the Double G website, and I'll put a link to that website below the video. And with that, I'd like to say thank you very much for watching the video. If you liked it, don't forget to leave a like, and I hope to catch you all again next time.